still the point of view, we are being given rare and privileged access to a building which is part of the National Operations Directorate. We are at the MTTD Traffic and Surveillance Center, which is part of the infrastructure put in place to monitor traffic, to prevent crime across the country. We're privileged to have the Director General of Police Public Affairs in the person of ACP Kwesi Ofori to give us some insights into the latest fighting against crime. Later on, we'll be given a walkthrough as to how they also deal with traffic issues. Thank you so much for allowing us. Are we the first media house to be allowed in here?
I think you've been here before.
So one of the reasons we are doing this program is the CCTV footage we saw online at Apenkwa, where we saw some criminals essentially accost the woman and take her money. Were those shots taken from this place?
Yes, we have special cameras with special security features across the country. And recently, the Acting Inspector General of Police activated this center, aimed at one, ensuring that all infractions caused, things done against the law in terms of traffic, in terms of crime, in terms of whatever that borders on criminality, this place has a capability and capacity to have a general overview of it. And this time around, aside the patrols that you see in the deployment that you see at the intersections, joints, strategic areas, and the vehicular patrols that you see in and around Tema and countrywide, we are supporting it now with technology. And this special facility assists us. That is the quiet policeman on the lookout. And it affords us the opportunity to know what is happening in our towns and cities. And we are so determined, to fight all manner of crime. Even the broad daylight robberies that we've seen and the footage seen, we can say that we are going all out, to make sure that we contain them. And we'll use every lawful means, to deal with that situation and stop it.
So even though this is under MTTD and it's motor traffic, you're saying that it also serves as a way of monitoring crime in general?
In general.
I see. So what happens? So assuming you see somebody on a motorbike or in a car attacking somebody here, what typically would happen?
As part of our revised strategy in fighting emerging crimes and these robbers on our streets, immediately that is spotted, a patrol team will be assigned to deal with the situation. Depending upon the kind of crime, we'll send the appropriate force level, to deal with it. And so there is a communication between the center and all police officers out there on our police channel. And we'll make sure that we use this technology to enhance whatever good thing we're doing in crime fighting.
I'm asking because we spoke to some of the eyewitnesses, I think at the Apenkwa one, where they were saying the robbers left before the security forces got in. I think it was a few minutes.
Yes, as I said 3 days ago, the Acting Inspector General of Police called for a crunch meeting among the Tema Regional Police Commander, the Accra Regional Commander, and all divisional commanders within Accra and Tema. And the meeting took us to late night. And we have revised our strategies, our response level, and the way and manner, we move in to deal with the deadly criminals. And so we've upgraded it to a level now. And that is why you see a lot of policemen on static duties, foot patrols, vehicular patrols, and we have the intelligence wing also performing their job. And the center throws a searchlight all over, to assess our patrol teams on the ground. So it is a serious business that we're conducting, and we'll make sure that, we deal with the situation. But for now, we've upgraded our services. We've also seen how best our response level could be improved. And I think it has been improved through re-strategizing and making sure that we serve the people better.
So in the specific case of the 2 videos, there's one which was taken obviously by your cameras. That's the one I referred to. There's another one that happened, I think, in the western part of Accra. Have any arrests been made? Have you had any leads on those 2 specific robbery instances?
Thank you very much. We are closing in. We know who they are. We know what they do in the city and their way of doing things. And we are poised, to get them. And before many days, we're going to achieve results. We are so determined and empowered to do that.
So generally speaking, what do you say to the public? Because there appears to be a fear, and the fact that some of these people are doing it in broad daylight. Some of these crimes take place not within the purview of your cameras. For example, we got a lot of calls from housing down at Denta, that sometimes even in the day, people are attacked. So places where your cameras are not, what kind of assurance are you giving that you are on top of those ones too?
As I said, with Zone Accra, we have operational bases across the city and we patrol. Apart from that also, the center, we have other rooms that also receive emergency calls. And when such calls come in, quickly, available patrol teams within that jurisdiction are called upon to duty. And that is what we are doing. And you might have noted that the districts, the divisions, supported by the Accra Region and National Headquarters operations, are coordinating this operation very well. And we have policemen all over. And we will sustain it and make sure that we nip some of these criminals.
Is this thing, and this is my final point, is this thing an Accra thing or is this a national?
It's a national thing. It has several cameras and they have the capacity and capability to move it to other areas. For instance, let's move to Ashanti region and Tamale.
So there's a desk for each region, and they can switch to the region to monitor what's going on.
Even on their.
But is there a similar center in Ashanti, or this is the national? So this covers the whole country.
This is the national, cover the whole country.
I see. So if you want to see what's happening, say at Swami Runabout, you can check.
Let's go to Swami.
Wow.
Swami.
Please check it. Any of you can check.
As we are speaking, I can see Ashaman Market, which is. I see Hansonic, Dansoman. So you've chosen, how do you choose the places, by the way?
We do a lot of crime mapping. And then other intelligence-based analysis. And we have specific areas that we look at. There are others that are known, others are also emerging. So we move in tandem with real situations.
Wow. So you can go to, how many cameras have you installed across the country?
The cameras are many. For security reasons, I think we may pause on that, but we have a national capability.
I see. So this is Swami Runabout.
Doom, Konongo, all those things are Lana.
So these are in separate folders?
Quite, I said he wants Runabout Swami.
Whilst we, yeah. Okay, you take me to a Doom. Okay, Abreport Junction. Go to Abreport Junction. Let's see.
Hey, my place.
Abreport Junction. So there are about 4 or 5 cameras in Abreport Junction. Okay. So it's multiple cameras at this location.
Camera with special security features.
Given different angles.
Abreport.
Okay.
Abreport Junction.
So some of this is blurred.
Yeah.
For security reasons.
Yeah.
I see.
A doom that you call for, that's a doom area.
And are you saying that for each place you show me, there are patrols waiting?
There are patrols around. They are not even waiting.
Okay.
Now we have operational bases. For instance, if you are assigned at, say, Accra Sports Stadium area in Osu, you have a base and you move in and where necessary. At times also they may have a discretionary movement. They have the discretion to move in and around the area, stop, observe, and move forward. And when duty calls, they speedily, tackle the situation head on.
Okay. 2 final issues. A lot of the recent reports have involved motorbikes and also guns. What are you doing in relation to the motorbikes. Most of the crimes reported, at least in the past few days that we've seen, the guys are usually two. One of them will have a gun, sometimes 2 or 3 motorbikes, but usually there are 2 on a bike. What is the police intention to deal with that?
We have the motor assault team called the Rovers. They are also in there, and they have that capability also to be on them. And let me use this opportunity to say that apart from the recent robbery that we've seen, last month or so, we witnessed some of the robbers on motorbike moving to Opebia area near the airport, trailing a businessman who went in for money.
Through this system?
And we saw the Accra Regional Operations with that force capability, exchanging fire with them, and 3 of them fell.
So this was preemptive, based on what you had seen?
Yes, and they were killed because they were not prepared to submit to authority, and they were using weapons, toward the direction of the police. Secondly, also, we witnessed one also at Awudome. There are some banks over there. A woman went in for money, and they pounced on the woman. Timely intervention from a member of the public called the police, the 18555 and the 191. The police quickly moved in and then arrested one. One who was trying to use firearm was shot and killed. So we have several interventions that we've made, only that it has not come to public.
Do you have any
attention.
recommendations about the use of motorbikes that you think will come to later on? Because as I said, a lot of these criminals tend to use motorbikes. That doesn't mean everybody on a motorbike is a criminal.
Yeah.
But my question is, based on what you've observed over the past few months, is the police minded to make other recommendations about the usage of motorbikes beyond what the law says?
Yes, there are discussions, as to how we should be able to contain, the use of motorbikes in crime. But one of the countermeasures is we're strengthening our rover patrol teams. You might have noticed that we've taken even stock of new motorbikes, and they are on the street assisting patrolling, and they are well trained, mostly personnel from the National Operations, the CTU, the counter-terrorism, and they are all into it, and the SWAT teams, they are all into it. And I believe that we're doing a good job. Don't forget, even at the ATTC, mobile money vendor was attacked, and some of the teams went in, and then the 3 of them received various injuries, and they were arrested. And so we've been doing a lot of intervention, and those things did not attract, high public conversation.
What about the weapons? Where are they getting these weapons from? And are you doing anything to deal with the source of these weapons for these criminals?
Don't forget that West Africa, our sub-region, ran into problems in the yesteryears, where a lot of light weapons came into the sub-region. And from experts, we've seen trend of movement of guns from one place to the other. Though the police, customs, excise and preventive service, immigration service, national security, and the armed forces, we've done a lot of special tax operations along the border areas. Even within the country, the police also has done a lot together with the other security services. They've been seizures. For instance, today we saw we did a special operations. That was yesterday, and we even seized 2 weapons. And you might have noticed that some of these weapons are unlicensed weapons. They are illegal. They illegally, possess it. So through some operations, we've had a lot of seizures, and the court finally, calls for its destruction after we finish with the cases against the criminal. So we are on, and the Commission on Small Arms also helps, in analysis and projecting for the benefit of the security services. So we are in partnership with all these institutions. The police itself has arms and ammunition department, which also monitors some of these things and advise appropriately.
Thank you very much, ACP Kwesi Ofori, DG for Police Public Affairs. Thank you very much for talking to us. This is still the point of view. We are trying to understand the police's response to the recent wave in some of the crimes we've seen. And I'm happy we have been allowed into a very special unit. We are here at the National Operations Directorate, and we've been allowed into the MTTD Traffic Monitoring and Surveillance Center. As ACP Kwesi Ofori said, this is multiple. It's not just for traffic management. It's also for crime prevention and investigation.